Hello YouTube, this is Own Soldier 86 coming back to you with part 5 of the tutorial series on how to make levels in Super Smash Bros. 64. Before I go on here, I wanted to briefly just reiterate that these videos are really short. They're only 5 minutes apiece, and it does seem like they're going by very, very quickly. So if you do find yourself getting caught up a little bit in between these videos, feel free to take some time and experiment a little bit on your own between these videos. That's really what this is all about. Once I show you a little trick or two, take some time and experiment with it a little bit on your own to get used to it, so that you don't get yourself frustrated. Like I did when I first started working on this. This was really, really a lot of work to understand kind of all the intricacies that are needed to prepare the game and getting it ready, getting all the resources ready for the game to be able to read them correctly. So we're going to take things step by step, and we're going to go as slow as we can. But if you get caught up, feel free to take some time in between videos and do so. All right. So let's say, for instance, you've found a game that you wanted to copy some sprites from. You went to Spriter's resource or something, and you downloaded a few splotches that have a whole bunch of different, images. So let's say I downloaded this image right here. And I'm going to open that up in paint.net. Okay. And look at all these wonderful textures. That's something I just realized too, is that just the amount of skill used to create these textures. It's something that as a gamer, I just kind of take for granted when I'm playing the game. But then now that I'm creating things, it's like, man, there's a lot of effort that goes into making these look as fantastic as they do. So kudos to those people that sit there and do pixel art. It's just incredible. Anyway, enough of that. Let's take a small resource here. This blue box. I use this for the Casino Night Zone in the Sonic 1 mod, and I'm going to use it again for the Sonic 2 mod for the Casino Night Zone as well. I just like it. It's a very cool looking texture. And something we should talk about here before we extract this texture is that notice down here in the lower left-hand corner, the square is 64 by 64. This refers to how many pixels are in the box. And the way the game works is it reads anything that is either 64, 32, or 16. So you need to keep your texture constraints within those parameters. You've got to have it either 64 by 64 or 32 by 32 or 16 by 16 or any combination of those, like 64 by 16 or 32 by 64. That's just the way that the game reads the textures. And if you have it anything other than that, let's say you go to 8 or anything as high as 128, the game just won't be able to read it correctly, and it might cause a crash. So you've got to keep yourself within those confines of 64, 32, and 16 pixels. So this is a nice squishy square here. Look at that, 64 by 64. It's perfect. We're going to copy that and make a new document of the same size. And we're going to paste. And look at that, we're done. So that's one texture. Now, let's say, for instance, I find a texture that is a different size. So, for instance, these signposts, these always look really cool. I'm going to take this green tails sign here. Copy that. Now, notice this, 48 by 30. Okay, well, we're not 64 by 32, but it's pretty close. If we decided to do this signpost here, we could get pretty close by going 64 by 32. So when I make a new document, I'm going to make that 64 by 32. And I'm going to paste the image. Now, obviously, it's not the right size. So intuition would say, okay, we'll just click this and drag it and make it bigger. Whoa, we got blurry. That's not quite what we want to do. Control Z, edit, undo. What I want to do is, this is a neat thing about paint.net. We have different options to spread these textures out to make them look clean. So I'm going to go up here to this thing that looks like a circle, and we're going to do pixelated selection quality. And then we're going to go to this bilinear, and instead of calling bilinear, we're going to do nearest neighbor. And now look at how nice that looks. It's pixelated based on the pixels that are next to it. We're going to continue this on in the next video.